video, I am sharing my step-by-step process for how I create sales pages for online courses and digital products. So let's dive in. Hi guys, my name is Amanda and I help creatives and coaches just like you get more leads and more sales for your online business. So if that sounds like something that you want to learn more about, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. So today I am going to take you through every single step I take when I am designing new sales pages for me and for my clients. There's also a free download that goes with this video, so make sure you grab it. It is my simple sales page roadmap and you can grab it at the link below this video. Okay, so let's just jump right into the steps because we've got a lot to cover. So step number one before you create your sales page is you have to clarify your offer and you have to understand who you're talking to. This is the most important thing to do first. Before you can create a sales page, you have to understand 100% what you're selling and who you're selling it to. To help you with this step, here are 5 questions that you can ask yourself to really understand what your offer is and who your ideal customers are. So question number 1, who is your ideal customer? So you want to get as specific as you possibly can. I am talking gender, age, marital status. Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Did they go to college? Do they have any sort of degrees? What does their life look like? Where are they spending time? Are they online? If they're online, who are they following? You see where I'm going with this. So just as specific as you possibly can. One thing that I like to do when I'm kind of stuck here is I look back at my past clients and I use them as my ideal customer avatar. So I will basically just describe exactly who they are. Then what that does is it creates a clear picture in my head of who I'm talking to. So the second question then is, what is their biggest frustration when it comes to blank? And then you want to fill in your course topic. So for me, it would be, what is their biggest frustration when it comes to creating a sales page? The third question is, how do they feel before they find you? Kind of describe their before scene. What does their life look like, or what does their business look like? What are they struggling with? What's keeping them up at night? All of those different questions. This is really going to be where the problem comes into play so that we can then provide a solution for them. The fourth question is, what is the biggest benefit of your offer? So what is your offer going to help them be able to do or accomplish? We're not talking about the features here. We're not talking about how many modules are included or anything like that. We are talking about the specific benefits of them taking your online course or your digital product or whatever it may be, whether it's a mastermind or even if it's a service, this can all apply to that as well. And then the last question I want you to ask here is, how do they feel after they get done working with you? So what does their life or their business look like once they've taken your course or your digital product? What can they say they have accomplished because of what you've been able to teach them? This is going to be really important to start painting that before and after on your sales page. So we really want to understand their entire customer journey. All right, so the second step in my process is to create a customer copy bank. So like I said, one of the hardest parts about creating a sales page is understanding what to say, when to say it, because the point is we want it to connect with the readers. One of the best things that you can do is use the exact language that your ideal customer is using to describe their problem and to describe their solution. And the best way to do that is just go straight to the source. You need to ask your customers and ask your audience. Here are a few ideas that you can do to really dig into what your customers are saying. Get on a call with them. 10 for 10, that's what I like to call them. So you do 10 minutes of asking them questions and then they have an opportunity for 10 minutes to ask you questions. So it's a win-win for both of you. Another thing you can do is you can send out a survey to your email list and just ask them straight up what their biggest frustrations are, what a perfect solution would look like for them, what they're struggling with the most, what they need the most help with, and just use that exact language that they're sharing with you in your sales copy. Put that right into your copy bank. And then two other ideas that you could do for social is post polls. So in your Facebook group or on a Facebook page, you can post a poll, ask a question, and then have them select. So this is really good for just simple like one question answers. And then also on Instagram stories, I love the feature where you can ask them a question and they can choose A or B. All right, so step number 3 in the process of creating a sales page is to create a style guide. The goal of your style guide is to create a consistent look for your sales page, including the colors and the fonts, so that when you start designing, you already have a very clear visual in your head of what you want it to look like. I like to use Canva to create my style guides. It's a free tool that you can use just to curate some images that you really like and place them onto a board. All right, step number 4. This is where we get into the tough stuff. So step number 4 is outlining your sales page. Full warning, this is usually the step where people want to go and hide, which is basically why I spoon feed my Irresistible Sales Pages students with a sales page copy template where they literally have to just plug and play, because I know from experience with writing my own sales pages that this is the hardest part, because when you are staring at a blank screen and you're trying to figure out what to say, sometimes the words just don't come to you. What I recommend doing is studying other successful sales pages and making note of the different sections that they include on their sales page. The first thing to do here is start with your headlines. Use those to flesh out the different sections of your sales page and what you want to cover, and then inside put little bullet points for the copy that you want to cover. So what we're doing here is we're just brain dumping. We're just getting it all out into a simple outline. We're not really going back and filling in any of the content yet. That's going to come into the next step. One design tip I have for you here, we haven't even gotten to the design, but I want you to start thinking about this. As you're outlining your sales page, start playing with a visual layout. You can do this right inside of your Google Doc. For your headlines, make them a few points larger than the rest of your body copy. Start pulling out those visual components so that when you go to start designing, you kind of already have a basic layout of how you want your sales page to flow done for you right in your sales page copy. And it'll also help you write your sales page copy when you can kind of see it laid out more visually. All right, step number 5 is now we're gonna go back and we're gonna fill in all of the gaps of our sales page. If you did the bullet point trick like I shared in the last step, then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go back through each of the different sections of your sales page outline and start writing out the full copy. To make your sales page easy to read, one thing I want you to keep in mind while you're writing out all of the content is to have your paragraphs be no longer than 3 sentences long, because when you have more than 3 sentences in a paragraph, it starts to become more of a chunk of text and people are going to be less likely to actually read it. All right. Step number 6, we're moving along. So once you have all of your sales page copy done and edited and it looks awesome and it's ready to go, now comes what I think is the most fun part. Now we're going to start designing your sales page. So staring at a blank page, whether it's a Google Doc or it's a website page, is so intimidating. Like, where the heck do I even start? So one thing that I love to share with people is when you start to design, you want to think about everything in sections. So just like we wrote your sales page in sections, we are going to design your sales page in sections. What this means is that you're going to start with the very first section of your sales page, which is what we call the hero section. And it's going to typically include your opening headline and then probably a tagline of sorts that will show people exactly what your course is about, or at least hook them to get them to keep reading. So then once you have the hero section laid out and designed, then you would move on to the section right below it. A few things to keep in mind while you're designing. As you're moving section by section, make sure you're alternating background colors. That's one of the easiest ways to make the different content sections stand out on their own. Another thing I like to do is I like to use placeholder images while I'm going through the first draft of my sales page design. So what this does is it saves you a lot of time, because then you're not stopping every section to go and find the perfect photo, but you're able to just add in a placeholder image and then go back at the very end when you're done designing your sales page and go back through and find visuals for each of the different sections. The reason I love to do this, like I said, it saves you so much time, but it also helps you create that consistent style as you're working down the page. All right, and the last step number 7 is to connect your shopping cart. So thankfully, this is one of the easiest steps that you can do. You just have to have a shopping cart platform, set up your checkout page, and then grab the URL for that checkout page and add it to all of your buy now buttons on your sales page. Make sure that when you're done doing this, you go back through, you publish the page, and you double check all of those links to make sure they're all leading to the same place. And that's that. I know that was a lot of steps, but like I said, if you want to see these kind of laid out and something that you can keep with you and print out if you want, make sure you grab my roadmap. It's a free download. It outlines all of the different 7 steps that you need to create a sales page, and then it also links out to additional content that I've created that will help you out with each of those steps. So make sure you grab that. Link is in the description box below. And if you like this video, hit that like button so more people can find it, and then hit that subscribe button too so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you in the next video.